What is up, everyone? It is Friday. Feels like a Monday because I'm back to work today. I'm on my lunch break. So I figured I would try to play the third quarter of this game. I want to get as much of this game done as possible. I might play the fourth quarter tonight just to get it done because I got a whole bunch of stuff coming to my table over the next couple of weeks, including potentially this weekend. So let us go ahead and get started. Now, hopefully I don't have the same audio issues I had last time. Everything's charged up. I made sure. I thought so last time too and got it wrong twice. So hopefully everything is charged up this time. And we're going to play the third quarter. I'm going to address a couple of questions, though, that came onto the comments of the last video. One of them had to do with why a guy like Brad Muster, I always only run inside. And I tried to spell it out in a response, but I'm not sure if I was, it sounded kind of jumbled as I was typing, and I just wasn't sure. So if you look at Brad Muster's card, you can see on all his good dice rolls, 11, 66, 33, 25, 35, even 42, he has an 8. He has even numbers, right? He has even numbers. So then if we go to the board and we look at inside run and you look at the even numbers, 4, 6, 8, 10, you can see that those are bigger than the odd numbers around them. So 4 is 7 yards, while 3 and 5 are 4 and 2 yards. 6 is 6 yards, while 5 and 7 are 0 yards. And I'm showing AD right now, but it's like that all the way across. So if we go to BS, if you roll a 4, you get 5 yards. If you roll a 6, you get 4 yards. Roll an 8, you get 3 yards. But if you roll an odd number, you get 2 yards, 1 yard, -2, 1 yard, and that is. And if we look at outside run, and I'm looking at the goal line carry, so the yards aren't very big. But if you look at outs, in fact, let's go to the main one, the big chart in the middle here. We'll go to outside run here. If you look at the odd numbers for outside run, 29, 18, 13 for 3, 5, and 7, that's bigger than 13, 8, and 7 for 4, 6, and 8. So outside run, the odd numbers are the better rolls than the even numbers. But inside run, the even numbers, look at that. You can even, without even looking, you can tell because it's all double digits on the even numbers there, where the odd numbers are not. And I think they do that to separate players like Brad Muster, who as a fullback only runs inside. So the reason that if I roll an outside run on my dice, the reason I'll flip it over to inside run is because if I roll a 66 on BS, it's a 4 for him. He gets 8 yards. But if I roll a 66 on inside run for him, on BS, he gets 10 yards, so it's a little bit more. And I hate the idea of punishing a guy because I called a play call player combination that you wouldn't really see in real life. You'd never see Brad Muster take a sweep, a QB sweep and try to get around the corner and find a hole and turn it upfield. It just wouldn't happen. Guys like Dennis Gentry, he's a good example too. He's a wide receiver, and he only has odd numbers, and that's because any play he ran was like a wide receiver sweep. Like he came in motion and they pitched it to him. So he only has even numbers. Now, he probably only did it once or twice on the whole season. But if you were to call that play, you would use an outside run odd number. And that's why quarterbacks never have inside run numbers. They only have outside run numbers. They only have odd numbers on their scramble. Because, unless, I guess maybe like a Michael Vick who could do a QB draw. But for the most part, when a quarterback scrambles, they're outside the pocket. And they're not just running like an inside run. So that is why if I roll an outside run and I get Brad Muster, I flip it to an inside automatically. And that is why I always use outside run for quarterback scrambles, things like that. So that answers that question. Another question came up, how do I determine who's going to run the ball and who's not going to run the ball, or who's going to be the targeted receiver? So I create my locators right here. And this is my receiving locators. And I base that off of let's go to, that was Mark Carrier. Yeah, so let's go to Mark Carrier. See, Mark Carrier has an A8 right here, or an A9. And then you go to the next guy, Bruce Hill. He's an A5. We go to Ron Hall. He's a B3. So what I'll do is I'll add up all those numbers, and then I'll figure out the percentage. So if the total comes to 36, and Mark Carrier is a 9, that means he gets 25% of the targets. And so there's 36 total dice rolls that you can get between 11 and 66. So then I'll take 25% of the dice rolls, which is 11 to, I don't know, 24, something like that, which is why he might actually be 11 to 24 there. I'll take 25% of the total dice rolls, and he'll get 25%. And you have to like round up. It's not exact. It's not perfect. But that's kind of the way I do it. I think it matches, actually. Somebody told me in a comment not too long ago that it matches. Where's it at? One of these charts. This chart here. No, that's the defensive chart. There's a locator chart. Maybe it's not in here. Maybe it's in the old book. I know I've seen it. Oh, is that? No, that's not it. I know I've seen this locator chart. There it is. So somebody told me that it matches this right here, this locator chart for receptions. Well, I want to zoom. Come on, zoom in. There we go. For receptions, I don't really know how to use this chart, but my guess is I'm actually doing this and not even realizing it. So wait, I don't know what the dice 1 through, what is that, 9? I don't know what that means. But, that must be the total. So if the total is somewhere between, let's say we're in 3, if the total number of the receiving column, you add them all up, is between 46 and 54, maybe you roll 2 dice. I'm not sure how these numbers work. But somebody told me that it's kind of the same concept. But I do the same thing for running backs. I use their carries during the season to do this. So there's no numbers on the cards. So I just use their total carries during the season to figure this out. And then I do the same thing for sacks and interceptions. So like every defensive player, or not every, some defensive players could have, like he has a W4, so I'll use the 4 for interceptions. And he has, he has a QS5, so I'll use the 5 when it comes to quarterback sacks. I have a video on this. I'll try to link to it in the comments of this video. I have a video on how I set this whole thing up. It's, kind of boring, but it does show you exactly how I set this whole thing up. The funny thing about this is I started setting this up when I started playing again last May based on Dave Gardner setting it up because he was struggling with the APBA football. I remember watching those videos and being like, oh, come on, Dave, just keep trying. And I think not too long after he was doing this, mine's a little more in depth than his, but I love the idea of putting everything on one page, the lineups and all that stuff on one page. Once he started doing this, not long after that, he stopped doing it, but I love it, so I keep doing it. So that was one of the big things that got me back into the game, is being able to do this sheet instead of having to deal with Excel, which is what I was using before. So, and I love Excel, but it was a pain in the ass before. So that's how I do it. I'll link the video on how I set up my sheets so you can see it if you want to know. Get down to the details of how I do it. I do use Excel for that, and then I print it out. And this is actually just a printed Excel sheet that I use. So, all right. So there you go. We are ready to start here. We're gonna start. It's 13-12 at halftime. Again, 4 touchdowns have been scored, and we've had 3 missed extra points or botched attempts or blocks or fumbles or whatever, which is so rare, but it actually happens. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this. Chicago's going to kick off. Tampa will receive, and they are down 13-12. So hopefully we have the makings of an exciting game here. All right, rolling the dice. And actually, I'll get into the dice rolls, too, that go along with that sheet as I roll some dice here. So let's start with the kickoff. It's going to be Kevin Butler kicking off to the Bucs. The pages back where they were here. So the reason I used 2 books, this is the first book that I had, and you can see it's starting to get really, really damaged. So I ordered a second book, but I figured I might as well keep using this for kickoff. So I'm not flipping on this book over here so many times. So it just saves me with flipping pages. I assume everything in here is the same as the other one, but I could be wrong. I don't know. So, but it does save me from flipping pages. All right, so let us get started here. So I rolled a 32. 32 on Butler's kickoff card is a 20. And 20 is going to be a 61-0-10. All right, so Kevin Butler puts his foot into it. And he goes 61. And then 0-10 is going to be your OB. OB is going to be Thomas Sanders. Thomas Sanders is going to return this one from the 4-yard line. 15. And then 15 is a 9. And he will get 32 yards on the return. Wow, what a kickoff from Sanders. There you go. So Thomas Sanders. Where are you at, Sanders? Oh, wait. Oh, I looked at the wrong guy. No, I didn't. Oh, I did look at the wrong guy. It's Sylvester Stamps. Sorry. Sylvester Stamps. So I rolled a 15. 15 for him is an 11. Oh, and he won't get as many yards. He'll only get 22 yards. So he was not as good as Thomas Sanders, apparently, in terms of kicking, returning kicks. So let's see. That was Sylvester Stamps. There he is. He's our OB, yeah. All right, so it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 26 for Tampa Bay. So when I roll dice, I do it a couple different ways. We'll talk about how I've been doing it lately, which is just roll all 5 of these at once. You got a 20-sided, a black and orange, a blue and green. I call plays like this. For my 1989 set, I just assume everybody's a 50-50. 50% run, 50% pass. That's probably not correct, but I don't care. I'll roll a 20-sided die to determine the play. 1 through 5 is an inside run. 6 through 10 is outside. 11 to 17 is a short pass. 18 and 19 are medium pass. 20 is long. And then I adjust based on down and distance as we go. And then you'll see what I do with these 4 dice here in a second. All right, so we're going to roll a 10. That's going to be an outside run. And then we're going to start with black and orange. We're going to put them over here on the Bears. And we're going to take blue and green in that order, put them on the Bucs. So the black and orange is a 23. The black always comes first, so it's a 23. That'll determine my defense. So if I look at the defensive playing card there, an even, that's going to be a CD. You can see it right there, a CD. And then to figure out who the ball carrier is, I'll go with that's a 14. And I'll look at my locator chart, and you can see Lars Tate exists between 11 and 34 at 14. So he'll be my running back, so I'll leave the dice right on him. And I try to put the dice down so that I can look this way and this way because I tend to forget stuff pretty quick. It is going to be an outside run. It is going to be Lars Tate. So what I'll do now is I'll go to this board, and I'll go to the outside run chart, which is right here. And it was CD, right? 23? Yeah, CD. So I'll take my blue tab, and I'll move it over here to CD second and third quarter. And then now I can look away this way, and I've forgotten everything already. My memory is terrible. Short-term memory is awful. I have Post-it notes by my desk in the other room by the computer so that if I'm on the phone with somebody and they say, can you do this for me? I'll write it down because if I talk to them for 30 seconds longer than hang up, I've already forgotten what they've asked me to do. So I can turn this way, and if I turn back, I already know that it's Lars Tate, defense is a 23, and I've got my tab here already to tell me. So I'm going to roll the dice. And a 15 for Tate, that's a 17. And he'll get 8 yards on the play. So good opening play for Lars Tate. Again, Tampa Bay won this game in real life. I'm going to assume in exciting fashion, 42-35. I'm not really on pace for that, but it looks like I'm on pace for a close game, which is nice. All right, so it's going to be 2nd and 2. And I normally wouldn't do this, but for this video, I'll say what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it up. I'm going to say we're going to go big. And in my head, go big means bring 2 tight ends in, bring a fullback in, and we're going to try to run the ball here. So I have my purple die, and I'll change it up to where now 1 through 12 is an inside run. 13 through 16 is an outside run. So we have, 16 out of 20 chances to be a running play, which is what I want. But you know how NFL teams are. They don't always do what's expected. So I'll say 17, 18, 19, 20 will be a pass, short pass, and we'll pretend that it's like a play action fake. Maybe the quarterback rolls and looks for the tight end. It looks whoever the target is, he looks for that guy instead. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go big here. I normally would just go standard, but we'll go big. And we'll get a 16. So that's going to be an outside run. 32 is going to be your defense. 13 is going to be your running back. So we already know that Lars Tate is the top running back. So he's going to get the majority of the carries. So he's a 13. 32 is going to be another CD. Did I just roll? I think I just rolled I rolled a 23, didn't I? Yeah, they're both CD. So we're going to go outside run. We're going to basically run the same play here. Lars Tate, outside run, CD. All right, a 53. 53 is a 19. And Lars Tate will get 4 yards, and that will be enough for a first down. That's going to be 1st and 10. Buccaneers at the 38-yard line. So a good opening series so far with a first down. Let's go back to standard offense. 15 is going to be a short pass. So 53 is your defense, and 21 is your ball carrier. This is a good one. So 53 is a CS. You can see it right there. 53, and CS is your pass. But our receiver is going to be Mark Carrier. And I have it spelled out there that Mark Carrier is an A. So if we look at his card, again, that's what I showed you earlier. He's going to be an A9. So he's going to be an A. So because he's an A, We're going to take the CS that came up on 53. We're going to move it over one. We're going to make it a BS. So Mark Carrier's A moves it to the left one way. So this is going to be a BS short pass. Vinny Testaverde to Mark Carrier. And I'll take this. It's already there, but I'll take this. Make sure my blue tab is in the right place. And I have, if you're wondering what I have here, I have an iPad holder that I don't actually have an iPad, but I bought it anyway because I could put this right in here, and then it just sits on the desk beside me. It kind of sits up. It's propped up for me, like a laptop screen almost. All right, so this is going to be Vinny Testaverde to Mark Carrier, short pass. 45. It's a 14 for Vinny, and that'll be complete. 6 yards. Ooh, 45 is usually a 17 or an 18, so Vinny has a 14 there, so he's going to complete a couple more passes than other people. That's good. And that's a 6-yard completion, 30 seconds off the clock, and it is going to be 2nd and 4 now at the 44. One thing I don't do, if you ask me, like, do I play basic or advanced, or what's it called? Is it advanced? Is that what it's called? The basic is it advanced? I can't remember what the terminology is. But I do a lot of the basic, but I add in a few of the advanced, the locator stuff. This is advanced. But I don't play with blitzes and keys. I don't really know how. And I don't play with screen passes. Occasionally I'll throw a draw play in there, but that's very rare. So it's kind of a mix of the two. All right, let's move on here. It's going to be 2nd and 4 now, and I'll stick with a standard offense. And a 1, that's going to be an inside run. 46 is a BS. 26, sticking with Lars Tate on this draft. So inside run BS, Lars Tate. And the reason that Lars Tate can run inside or outside is because of his good numbers, like 22 and 33, 11, 66. He has teens. He has 15, 16, 17, 18. And those are good. So if we go down here, so you can see 15, 16, 17. Those are good. This is inside run. If I flip it over to outside run, they're just as good. So the guys that run both ways, inside and outside, they'll have those teens numbers there at the good dice rolls. The guys that go inside will have evens, and the guys that only run outside will have odd numbers. All right, I hope that made sense. I'm trying to hurry a little bit because it's 12:15 and I have to be back to work by 1. So I'd like to get the quarter done, but I don't know if it's going to happen or not. As long as my sound stays on, I'll be happy. All right, 2nd and 4. I may have already rolled the dice and forgot, so we're just going to roll again. So a 7, that'll be an outside run. Oh, 33 on your defense. Again, the good dice rolls for the offense, they're going to match the good dice rolls for the defensive playing cards. So 33 against an outside run, that's going to be a BG. And a 15, they're going to stick with Lars Tate. So BG, Tate had over 100 yards in real life in this game, so I always ask, how does the game know? But it knows. So BG, Lars Tate, 3rd quarter. 52 is not good. That's a 28. He's actually going to lose. He's going to lose 7 yards. Wow, look at this. So BG. G means the defense is playing run. If we go all the way down to 20, what is that, 28, you can see right there by my thumb. All the way over here, it's going to be a -7. So that's a big loss, especially on 2nd and 4. That's going to make it 3rd and 11. So Tate hitting the backfield by that Bears defense. We are the Bears. Shuffle and Crew, or whatever that song was. All right, yeah, wasn't that the Shuffle, the Chicago Bears? What was it called? Oh man, I'm so old. Okay, all right, so 3rd and 11. So on 3rd and 11, I generally go medium pass heavy, meaning on the dice. We're gonna go as many medium passes, more medium passes than anything else. So 1 through 8 are going to be short passes. 9 to 19 is medium. 20 is long. The reason I do 1 to 8 short instead of just calling a medium pass, number one, I don't like to call the plays, but calling a medium pass is because how many times on 3rd and long have you watched a quarterback for your favorite team dump it off for 6 yards? And you're just like, why don't you throw to the sticks? Well, because they don't always throw to the sticks. So that's why I go 1 to 8 short, 9 to 19 medium, and 20 is long. And we're going to get a 17, so that'll be a medium pass. 16 on the defense is an AS. And 15, back to Mark Carrier. And he's already an A, so we'll keep it at AS. So medium pass, AS, Mark Carrier. It's a pretty good defense to throw against. Testaverde with a 62. That's an 18. That's going to be incomplete. And that's going to bring up 4th down. All right, 4th and 11. Let's bring out Chris Moore to punt. 61 for Moore is oh no, it's a 33, and we have an F6. Wait, no, not an F6. It's an F1. Oh no, what is it? Where's punt? Right here. We have an F6. So we have an F6. So we're gonna have a fumble of some sort here on the punt. That's not good. 24. And that's going to be minus 12, picked up by 06. And 06 is going to be the right tackle. So I'll go punt. And we'll say fumbled snap. Tampa recovers. And it's, what was it, minus 12? 6. Yeah, minus 12. And it's going to be, let's see, fumbled snap. The Bucs recover. Chris Moore recovering it. And one of the things I got off of, I believe it was off of Ogard's site, is this thing here that tells you the different players for all of the different special teams plays. So we're going to go to punt. Where's punt? Right there, punt coverage. Right there. So 06 is going to be the tackle. So that's going to be our starting right tackle, Rob Taylor, is going to pick it up and try to run with it. My guess is he's not going to get any yards. So Rob Taylor, where is he? There he is. He's your starting right tackle. And he does not have an FR number, an FR0. So if they have an FR0, I just have him fall on it right there. Fumble recovery, 0 yards. I just have him fall on it. Otherwise, I'll roll against our R column. His R column is mostly 20, so he is not going to get any yards. But maybe I can roll an 11 or a 66. And I roll a 23, and he is going to get, that's a 30. And he's actually going to lose 3 yards on the play. So the Bears are going to start with amazing field position here. So Rob Taylor, minus 3. Minus 3. Change of possession. And it's going to be 1st and 10 at the Bucs 22 for the Bears. So we'll flip over to the Bears sheet here. You can. I also highlight the A receivers so that just when I look down, it's easy for me to recognize who the A's are. So Neil Anderson has an A/B. That means on short passes, he's an A, and on medium and long passes, he's a B. That's what the slash means. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let's keep going. 1st and 10. 18. So Mike Tomczak, medium pass right off the bat here. 33. Now the black and orange. I still do black and orange. I still put black and orange on the Bears and blue and green on the Bucs, but this time this is going to call the target, the receiver, and now 51 is going to call the defense. So 51 for the Bucs on their -5 card is an AD. 33 is James Thornton. He's a C. So because he's a C and it was an A, we're going to move it back 1 to a B. This is something I was doing wrong up until a couple of months ago. I was moving it regardless, but the way you move it back, if it's a C, if it's a B, you keep it at B. If it's a C, you keep it at C. And if it's an A, you make it a B. So our defense goes from AD to BD. So medium pass BD. Tomczak to Thornton. And again, I don't know if I'm playing with the correct rules or not. I feel like most of the time I am, because I know I've been playing this since I was 10, and I've always tried to follow the rules. I've just added in my own stuff as I go. So I guess maybe I'm not following the rules. Who knows? All right. So Tomczak to James Thornton, I believe has a touchdown. I think he had a touchdown in the first quarter. 54. Oh, that's a penalty number. 54 for Tomczak. Yeah, it is. 54, 34, are always penalties. 14 sometimes. 14 is usually a fumble, but in this case it's a 10. So 54 in the P column is a 36. I think 36 is generally better than 35. That's going to be a 15-yard pass with a TH. So we have a penalty. We have a TH. Now, one thing you could do if you wanted to was you could grab your chart and you could go to the penalty section, which is right here. Right? You could do that. But I don't like doing that because I hate flipping pages. So I printed it out here and printed it on my wall. So when you see me looking up here at this sheet right here, that's my penalty chart. I copied it and printed it out. So TH. So 44 is a 20. That's pass interference. And on a completed pass, like this one, 15 yards at a TH, pass interference, you wipe away the completion and you just make it a 15-yard pass interference call. So we'll go penalty on the Bucs, 15 yards, spot foul, automatic first down, pass interference, 15 seconds, and now it's going to be first and goal at the 7 for the Bears, trying to capitalize on this fumbled punt. And now, because we're at the 7-yard line, we don't have medium pass anymore. You can't do that inside the 15. We don't have long pass. You can't do that inside the 30. So any number I get, I'm going to go standard offense, but anything from 11 to 20 is going to be a short pass. And I get a 1. That's an inside run. 34. 34 is Neil Anderson. 54, and I'll show you here Neil Anderson. He's an 11 to 45, which means he got about 80% of the carries, 70% of the carries, whatever that is. What is that? 11 to 46 would be 4-6, 2/3. So actually, he's about 62% of the carries, 11 to 45. And then your defense, 54. 54 is an AD. So we're going to run inside against a passing defense, an AD. And then you could say, well, they would never be in an AD in real life, a D, a passing defense on first and goal. They'd probably be more of a standard 3-4. I always like to pretend, I heard Dave say this before, I always like to pretend that the defense made a mistake, somebody fell down, somebody missed an assignment. So the AD doesn't necessarily mean passing defense. It just means it wasn't good for the run. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but that's kind of how I play it. All right, so Neil Anderson, inside run against an AD. Most of the things that I change, the rules I break and change, are because I like offense, and I'd rather have a 42-35 game than a 6-3 game. So I'm okay with a lot more offense than what happened in real life, which is going to inflate my stats, which makes me happy. All right, a 15 for Neil Anderson. That's going to be a pretty good run. That's a 16. And he is going to get, I'm in the goal. I'm inside the 10. So it's not going to be 12 yards. It's going to be AD 16, 7 yards. He gets to the goal line and falls in for the touchdown. And just like that, the Bears extend their lead. And if they can actually make an extra point, it'll be a 2-touchdown lead. Right now it's 19-12. Bring out Kevin Butler. 21 for Butler is a 19, and 19 is good. I mean, I don't have to look for some of these because I've played this so many times. And I understand that on extra points, those 19 numbers, 19 and 20, those are always good. It's this column right here. This is second and third quarter, so we're point after touchdown, first and fourth, second, and then anything below a 36 is always good too. So if I see those, I don't need to look. All right. So it'll be good. It'll be 20-12. It should be 21-14, but we had way too many missed extra points. 20-12. And let's bring out Kevin Butler to kick it off with the Bucs. There's no 2-point conversion back in the day, so the Bucs now down 2 scores. 44 on the kickoff. This is a 4. Oh, no, it's not. It's a 39. 39 is 69-09. So 4 yards deep into the end zone will be Kevin Butler. It's 4 yards deep. When I first started playing the game, I would roll to see if they ran it out. So, for example, what I would do is I would say it's a 50-50 chance they run it out, but with every yard into the end zone, it lessens a little bit. So we'll go 1-10 he runs it out. 11-20. No, we'll go 1-10 touchback. 11-20 he runs it out, but then we'll add 4 yards since it's 4 yards deep. We'll add 4 and make it 1-14 is a touchback. And 15-20 he runs it out. But I had way too many touchbacks. And I was watching some videos from games back then where they actually ran it out a lot. So we're just going to run it out. And it's going to be, who is it? Donnie Elder is the kickoff return guy. 13 in a K column is a 12. And Elder will get 17 yards, and that is not a good idea to run it out, but he runs it out anyway. He'll get 17. They're going to start 1st and 10 at their own 13 after the kickoff. 11 and a half to go here in this third quarter, and it's 12-27. So I'm definitely going to run out of time before the end of the quarter, but I'm probably going to finish this game tonight. Maybe I'll just finish it and post it all together as one video. All right, so 1st and 10 at the 13, and we're going to go standard offense. And we're in 18, so Testaverde now with a medium pass. 63 on your defense is a BG. And 45 for the Bucs. That is Bruce Hill. So Bruce Hill is an A. You can see him highlighted there. 35-45. I rolled a 45, so it's going to be Bruce Hill. And because I rolled a BG, we're going to make it an AG because Bruce Hill is an A. So we go all the way back to inside the 14-yard line. We'll go medium pass. And we'll go AG. So this is where you're going to have a lot of big numbers here. You get back inside the 14, and you get into the G's for pass plays. Look at all those big pass plays there. Anything 14 and higher is actually going to be a first down and a good gain. So let's see what we can roll. Testaverde. 56 is not going to do it, though. That's an 18, and that is going to be incomplete. So that's a wasted opportunity right there. A medium pass AG, and you come up incomplete is just, it's a rough one. All right, let's make it 2nd and 10. And I don't ever change plays. If I roll medium pass 3 times in a row and it goes incomplete, I'm just going to say that's what happened in the game of your life. Again, I always think back to watching football, which I do every single week. I watch Red Zone, I watch Thursday night, I watch Sunday night, I watch Monday. I watch them all. And the number of times you just go, why did they call that play? Or why did the quarterback throw it there? Or what are they doing running on 3rd and whatever? I just assume that happens in the game too. And we're going to have a short pass this time. 17. A 36 is a BS. 64 is going to be William Harris. So William Harris is a backup tight end. He's an ET2. He's a C1. I believe this is his 2nd target of the game. 36 was BS. He's a C, but because it's not an A, moving to B. It's just a B. We're going to leave it at B. Again, you got to be 2 letter grades apart to move it to the right. To move it to the left, to move it towards the A, you only have to be 1 letter grade apart. It's fine. But for moving it we're not going to move it from B to C when the receiver is a C and it comes up with a B. And that sentence made my brain hurt. I apologize. So BS, short pass. Testaverde looking for his backup tight end who's in for 1 play. And I'll tell you, one thing that people do here, I know I'm talking a lot in this video, but, I figured I would do kind of a how I play here. One thing that I see people do is, like, for example, William Harris came in, right? He's a 2. The starting tight end is Ron Hall. He's a 3. They'll adjust their defensive playing card. That just takes so much time. I love the fact that people do that. I would love to do that. If I can find an easy way to do it, I would. But it just takes so much time that whatever you are here, they're 35 offense, they're 32 defense. That's what they're going to be regardless of who the targeted player is, who the running back is. The only time I change it is if a quarterback changes or I'm playing with injuries. That's the only time I change it. All right, so here we go. So we're going to go Testaverde to Ron Hall. I already forgot what it was here. So not wanting Ron Hall. William Harris. He's a C. It's a BS. We'll go BS, short pass, inside the 14. 41 for Testaverde is a 20, and we have another incompletion. Testaverde's off target in this game a lot, actually. He is now, let's see what his stats are. He is now 12 of 23, so he's hitting that 50% mark after at one point being like 9 of 10 or 9 of 11, something like that. All right, so it's 3rd and 10. I'm going to go short pass heavy. So short pass heavy is 1 through 12 on the dice is a short pass. So there's more short passes than medium here. So 1 through 12. 13 to 19 will be medium, and 20 will be long. And we get a 17, so he's going to go medium again. Actually, short pass heavy is not what I just said. I changed it. It was like that for a while, but I was getting so many medium passes. I changed it. Short pass heavy is 1 to 15 is a short pass. 16, 17, 18, 19 is medium. 20 is long. And because I rolled a 17, it's still medium. 66. So we're going to reach down to the bottom of the lineup here, and we're going to look for Willie Drury. He only has 66 on his ability to be targeted, probably because he's a C1. He didn't have many targets that year, but this is going to be one of them. 24 is a BS, so we're going to stay at BS. We'll go medium pass BS. Testaverde looking for Willie Drury. And we haven't looked at Willie Drury's card yet. Let's take a look at his card. Way down here. He's your punt returner. He's on the board. He's your starting punt returner. Yeah, he's definitely a C1. He's an EB2 C1, but that TA means he's the starting punt returner. And he will be our target on this play. 66 for Testaverde. It's a 2, and it's a 87-yard touchdown. Holy cow. 87 yards from Testaverde to Willie Drury. And that's, I believe, his first target, his first catch, and his first touchdown of the game, maybe this season. Who knows? And that is going to make, wow, that is awesome. I love that. I love high-scoring games. That makes me so happy. It's going to be 20-18 now in real life. If it was 2025, I would do a 2-point conversion here. But we don't have 2-point conversions. So Donald Igwebuike is in to try to kick an extra point. He's 0 for 2 so far. And he'll try again. 41. 41 is a 7. A 7 is going to be good. And it is 20-19 just that quick. So you're not going to get a full quarter out of me at my lunch break today. But you're going to get some scoring, which is nice. 10:45 to go. It's 12:33. So we still got some time here. All right. So there we go. Let's kick it off now. Igwebuike out to kick off. 45. 45 is a 40. 64-0-10. So we're kicking the backup kick returners today. So Igwebuike, 64-0-10. That's going to be, who's our OB? Thomas Sanders. There he is. Makes an appearance as a kickoff returner. 65 for Sanders in the K column is a 21. And he'll get 15 yards on the return. So, boy, their kick return team is, the kick returns for these, they've not been good for these backups. So that was Sanders for 15. And it's going to be 1st and 10 Bears now. Still up by a point, right where they were when I started this video. And 10.5 to go. They're at their own 16. And we'll just go standard offense. All right, a 12. And I am looking for felt or softer dice tower options because this might be a little bit loud. I am looking for better ones. I have a couple things lined up. And, in the future, you should see something a little quieter. 50, although I love the sound of it, so I don't know. 53 for the Bears on a short pass. So 12 is a short pass. 53 is Dennis McKinnon. He is a B. He's over here to the right. You can't see him because he's my backup punt returner, but I didn't have room for him right there, so I'll just put him in the middle there. Dennis McKinnon, and he is a B. 42 on your defense is a CS. So again, you don't move Bs. You only move As and Cs. So it came up CS. He's a B. We stay at CS. So we'll go short pass CS. And I'm not even sure if that's right. I mean, I assume it's correct. That's just how I've been playing my whole life. So I assume it's correct. I never looked at the rules. Maybe I looked at the rules when I was a kid. I don't remember. But I assume that's correct. If it's incorrect, please let me know. Somebody let me know. So we're going to go Tom Zach now to Dennis McKinnon against the CS. 34, another penalty number. That's a 35. It's complete, 4 yards, but we have a TH. All right, 31 is a 23. That is illegal contact on the defense, 5 yards, automatic first down, and we will take the penalty here. Take the 5 yards and the automatic first down, wipe the 4-yard catch off the board. And that's illegal contact. Mark Robinson getting into somebody's face that he shouldn't be. And it is going to be 1st and 10 now at the 21 for the Bears. All right, a 6. 6 is going to be an outside run. 46. That is not Neil Anderson. That is, there you go. There's your perfect combination right there. That's Brad Muster. If we look here, Brad Muster is 46 to 56. I rolled a 46. So that's going to be Brad Muster. But again, he only has the even numbers, which means he only runs inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to an inside run. Now I can flip the dice. It doesn't matter. We'll make it a 2. We'll make it an inside run. And it's going to be Muster. And our defense is 41. 41 is AS. So inside run, Muster, AS. And it's, there's your exact, I'll give you both results. So 44 for Muster is a 6. He'll get 10 yards on the run. So Muster up the middle. Good offensive line blocking for him there. He'll get 10. Now, had I stayed with the outside run, so here we go. So inside run right there. I rolled a 6. So AS, third quarter, 6 is 10 yards. If we flip it over and we look at 6 here, it would have only been 7 yards. So it's not a big difference, but I don't like to penalize those guys for putting them in positions in real life or in the game that they wouldn't be. And Brad Muster's not taking a sweep. I mean, what is he? He is 6'3", 235. Well, nowadays, that's not bad, but he's not taking a sweep back then. So 10 yards it is. 1st and 10 in the 31 now for the Bears. A 5, that'll be an inside run. 63, that's going to be Thomas Sanders, and he will run either way. 34, though. 34 is an AD. That's a defense you want to run against right there. So inside run AD. Thomas Sanders. 36. 36 is a 24, and he'll get 4 yards. So Sanders for 4. And it is going to be 2nd and 6. We'll stay standard. A 12. We'll go short pass. 13. 13 is going to be Neil Anderson. So, again, he's your number 1 running back. He's also the number 1 receiver. He's the only A on the team on short passes. So, he will be an A. And I'll show you his card here so you can see what that slash looks like. You can see that AB5. So, the first letter is short passes. The second letter is medium and long. So, on short passes, little swing outs, little hitches to the running back. He's an A. Your defense is a 23. 23 is BD. Or I'm sorry, your defense is BG. And because he's an A, we'll make it an AG. So Neil Anderson, AG. Short pass. Again, that's a defense you want to throw against right there, an AG. The A is for the offensive team, and the G is what the defensive team is doing. So the offensive team gets an A. And the defensive team is in a G. It's AD, not AG. AD. The defensive team is in. Oh no, it is AG because it's pass play. The defensive team is in a G, which is technically means it's a ground. They're looking for the run, and Tom Zach's going to surprise him here with a short pass. And it's a 16. 16's a 20, and it's going to be just incomplete. So again, can't take advantage of that AG defense with the pass plays. Both teams having trouble with it. And it is going to be 3rd down and 6 at the 35. And now we'll go short pass heavy. So 1 to 15 on the purple die is a short pass. 16, 17, 18, 19 is medium. 20 is long. Whoa, the black die jumped out of my hands. Let me grab that. It flew off my table. All right. All right. There we go. All right. 14 will be a short pass. 54. 54 is Dennis McKinnon again. Pull him back in. He is a B. 24 on your defense is a BS. So we're going to go short pass BS. Tom Zach to McKinnon. It's a 52, and 52 is generally a scramble number, and yes, it is, 26. So Tom Zach's going to take off and run. So again, quarterbacks are always going to use outside run, and if you look at their cards, almost all of them, maybe all of them, I'm not even sure, but they're going to have odd numbers at those doubles numbers, those good numbers. You're going to see the odd numbers. So let's get McKinnon out of here. And we're going to go outside run. And one thing that I do here is I always take whatever the original defense was. So if the defense was like a BS and I moved it because the receiver was an A, I go back to BS for the outside run. So we're going to go outside run, BS, Tom Zach. 53. 53 is a 21, and he'll get 3 yards, and he'll be 3 yards short of the first down, and they're going to have to punt. So we'll bring out Maury Buford. These are the Bears. I think it's their second punt of the game. 56 for Buford is an 8, right? Yeah. Yeah, 8. So we are here. So it's going to be 41 D10. One thing that always puzzled me is, well, I think I know the answer to it, but it's the kick returners all start with 9, 09, 010, 011, but the punt returners are D10, D11. It's strange to me. I think it has to do with roster and where you're putting them on the roster, but that was always strange to me. So Buford is going to go 41. D10 is going to be your TA. Willie Drury is going to be your return guy here. He's going to catch it at the 21-yard line. 35 is a 19. And he will get 12 yards on the return. Good return for Willie Drury. All right, first down at the 33, back to the Bucs. And we'll stay in that standard offense. 3, that'll be an inside run. 15, that'll be AG. 42 is going to be William Howard, or the man I like to call Mr. President, William Howard Taft. William Howard, he's a fullback, but he's a fullback. But if you look at his card, he's got the teens. He's got 15, 16, 17, 18. He doesn't have the odd or the even smaller number. So he runs both ways. He will take a sweep if that's what comes out. Now, in this case, it's an inside run, but he would run an outside run. 15 on your defense is an AG, so we'll go inside run AG for Mr. President, William Howard. 34, another penalty number. We got some penalties in this game. 12 accepted penalties so far. Bears have 8. I know they had 2 of them on the opening kickoff, but they have 8. Big penalty game. So 34 for Howard is 35. He'll get nothing stacked up at the line of scrimmage, but we have a TE. So we have a penalty. Let's check the penalty. 22, that'll be on the defense. That's going to be a 33. That's a big one. Unsportsmanlike conduct, 15 yards from the line of scrimmage. That's the Bears' 9th penalty. So I wonder if they had a lot of penalties in real life. That is their 9th penalty. And that was unsportsmanlike. Super Bowl shuffle. That's what it was called. The Super Bowl shuffle. All right, 1st and 10 at the 48. They're actually going to cross they're going to be on their own side. So they're on their own 48-yard line. We'll go back to standard here. And it's an 18. We're going to go medium pass. 52 is your defense. That is CG. 35. 35 is Bruce Hill. So because it's a CG, Bruce Hill is an A. We're going to make it a BG. So we're going to go medium pass BG. Testaverde looking for Bruce Hill. So another chance for a big play here because of that G defense. 46 is not going to do it, though. That's an 18. That's incomplete. Man, can't capitalize on these G defenses on passes. Testaverde now falls to 13 of 25. He's getting closer and closer to that 50% mark. 2nd and 10. Let's go standard. So it's a 7. 7 is an outside run. It's a 56. That's going to be an AS. And 41, that's going to be William Howard. So Howard this time is going to go outside. I showed you earlier, he does not have the odd versus even. So he can go outside. So outside versus an AS for Taft. I keep calling him Taft for Howard. 16 is a 25. I'll tell you right now, 25 is a 0 on every run play. Doesn't matter what it is, it's a 0. It's an interception on every pass play. The only thing you have to check is on outside runs, did he go out of bounds or not, if you're dealing with the clock. So look at 25 there, right there. You can see it right at the bottom of the screen. You got 0, 0, 0, B, 0, 0, 0. So it's a 0. It doesn't matter where you are, what run it is. It's always out. It's always going to be a 0. So I still have to check, though. Did it go out of bounds? No, it didn't. So it's 30 seconds. So William Howard, no gain, 30 seconds off the clock. If it's an inside run, it comes to 25, you don't even have to check. They don't go out of bounds. So it's always going to be a 0. 3rd and 10 now for Testaverde. Out of the shotgun. Short pass heavy. And we're going to get a short pass. 32 is a CG. Another G opportunity. And 41 is Bruce Hill. So we're going to go back to BG. Short pass, Bruce Hill, BG. Another opportunity here. Can they capitalize? Oh, they can capitalize. And Testaverde floats it down the middle of the field, and Bruce Hill runs under it, and he is gone for the touchdown. And holy cow, the 66s are dictating this game. I love it. Testaverde to Hill, 52 yards. And the Bucs take the lead. 25-20. Who had that in their scoreagami? 25-20. Let's go for the extra point here with Igwebuike. 24 is a 20, and that's good. I showed you earlier, 19 and 20 are always good on extra points, and so is everything after 36. Igwebuike, good. It is now 26-20 Bucs. Testaverde, 14-26, 260, and he's got 3 touchdowns. Fantastic. Okay. Let's see. 26-20. Let's kick it off with Igwebuike. It's 12:47. I got like 8 minutes. Igwebuike, 33, and this is another one I probably don't have to look at. Yeah, it's another one I have to look up. 33 in the P. You can see he's a KOP, So for kickoffs, you look in the P column, and you can see it's a 25. A 25 is a touchback. I just know that from playing this game 1,000 times. And if we look at the kickoff chart. There you go. There's your kickoffs. You go all the way down to 25, and you can see touchback. So 25 is always a touchback. So our mark it down as a 75-yard kickoff as it goes through the back of the end zone. Wabuke, boom. First and 10 at the 20 now for the Bears. And I think I'm going to stop now. I'm going to post this video. We only got 8 minutes of actual play time, but we got 45 minutes or so of video here. So I'm going to come back later tonight. So I'll post 2 videos today. I'll post this one, and then I'll finish it later tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed that. It was more of a how I play than I expected it to be, but thanks to, who asked me the question? Was it Rob Scott? Hold on, I'm going to look. It was, right here. It was Scott Johnson, 64Y. And I've seen him in Dave's chat too. So thanks for asking that question, Scott. I do appreciate it because I'm happy to go over that stuff. And I'll post a link to the video where I show how I made these sheets also. And then tonight we'll just get back to playing. And thanks for watching, everyone. And I'll talk to you later, literally later.